Here we are again, the terrible twosome. My name is, shall I do the full one? My name is Nadine Marie Antoinette Van Hasselt-Whitney. My parents clearly didn't understand history, which is why the Marie Antoinette, but I'm more Belgian than Jean-Claude Van Damme. So, and this
is a really big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, Adam Ross.
Who doesn't have a middle name.
Well, actually, my middle name is Jeffrey, which is named after my father, who came here
Jeff Ross.
Jeff Ross.
So, whenever you're cranky with Adam, use his middle name so he knows he's in real trouble. Anyone's parents do that to them? Just mine? Okay. I thought it was universal, but I guess not. Welcome to the 2024, but we're in 2025, Australian Film Critics Association Awards. We now go by the sobriquet Auscritic, so we don't get confused with a financial service.
There's no finances.
That is
there are no finances
the
involved.
Australian Financial Commission Association. Yeah, I'm like, do I work for them? I don't know.
I'd like to welcome you all here. Tonight we are celebrating critics, celebrating film, celebrating critics and celebrating film. I wrote that. I'm going to get Adam. Here we have last year's Best Film winner, Of an Age, by Goran Stilevsky. He obviously isn't here because he's too busy being great. Okay. And I didn't invite him. So there's that too. He didn't turn up to get his own award last year. Auscritic acknowledges the traditional owners of country throughout Australia because we all are from different parts of Australia. We thank here the Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung and Burrung peoples who are the custodians of the land on which we meet today. We pay our respects to elders past and present and emerging. Sovereignty was never ceded. I don't know if I have to revolutionize you all. Here are some of the films that we'll be talking about tonight. Memoir of a Snail. Bird Eater. We might have some of a Bird Eater here.
That guy might be
around
in the audience.
We've got He Ain't Heavy, Late Night with the Devil, Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, The Moist. Better Man, and In the Room Where He Waits with Danny Muntz, who is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, put it on your list. And some of the people who made them. So there is a little bird eater person with another bird eater person. This is David Vincent Smith. That is Dr. Miller. Adam Elliott. Adds a cinematographer. I've forgotten his name. I'm sorry. Sarah Snook. I'm sure he's important. No, this is, God, I'm terrible. The Cairns brothers and Michael Gracie. So they're just some of the people we've been talking to about. Not to.
Maybe. We might be hearing from some of these people maybe later on.
Maybe. And now we have a message from the Perth contingent, well, part of the Perth contingent, which is Andrew F. Pearce, who worked his butt off to make this happen. So he's a co-chair, and he's going to chat to you. So please take it in.
Andrew F. Pearce, co-chair of the Australian Film Critics Association, coming to you from Boorloo, Perth, Western Australia. Sorry I can't be there with you this evening in lovely Melbourne, but I know that you're all going to have a great night. I just wanted to share a short message of thanks and appreciation for my fellow Auscritic members. As sappy as the following might sound, your continued work in supporting, championing and elevating the greatest art form there is, cinema, is an inspiration for myself and the rest of the association. I particularly want to shout out the critical support that we've collectively given Australian cinema over the past year, whether it be with a review, an in-depth interview or a retrospective critical piece. I personally talked to a lot of Australian filmmakers who have said that the work that we do as critics, amplifying, elevating, and even sometimes outwardly condemning the films that they've made, further validates and shines a spotlight on the work that they do. While the Disneys and the Netflixes of the world pull our attention to their productions, Australian cinema needs our support more than ever right now. A healthy film industry is one that's actively supported by the National Film Critic Body. And that's us, the Australian Film Critics Association. Now, there's two meanings in that name. We are film critics based in Australia, but we're also critics who review, cover, and support Australian films. And that's what we're here for tonight, to support, champion, and celebrate Australian cinema, while also honouring the work of film critics based in Australia. And look, no doubt your trusty hosts Adam Ross and Nadine Whitney will guide you through the nominees and recipients tonight. But before they do, I just wanted to read you the Australian films that have been recognised this evening with nominations. And when you listen to this list, you'll no doubt see the breadth of what Australian cinema has to offer. And if there's a title or two that you might not have heard of, then I encourage you to seek them out. Right, the list is Better Man, Bird Eater, Force of Nature, The Dry 2, Furiosa, and Mad Max Saga, The Hardest Line, The Story of Midnight Oil, He Ain't Heavy, A Horse Named Winks, In the Room Where He Waits, Late Night with the Devil, Left Right Hook, Memoir of a Snail, Otto by Otto, Porcelain War, and finally, The Rooster. Through all of our critical coverage, we're helping secure these films and the ones that have come before and the ones that will come after, and the whole of Australian cinema in their rightful place in film history. I know that sounds a little bit egotistical, but the truth is we do help support and embrace Australian cinema and elevate it. So with that in mind, I just want to sign off by saying a quick thank you to my fellow committee members, Greg King, Virat Nehru, David Heslin, David Griffiths, Grant Watson, and Felicity Ford. But I particularly want to give a very warm thank you to my co-chair, Nadine Whitney. While you might not see everything that we do, just know that we are like little ducks with our little legs swimming as hard as we can, keeping the Australian Film Critics Association going. I really have enjoyed the work as being a co-chair alongside you, Nadine. Thank you so much. And look, I'm really absolutely stoked to be part of an organisation like Auscritic. And I'm beyond keen to continue championing my fellow critics and Australian cinema in the oncoming year ahead. Right, look, that's enough from me. Have a superb evening tonight, everyone, and congratulations to all the winners and the nominees too. I'll hand you back to you, the trusty hands of your host this evening, Adam and Nadine.
I think that, well, Andrew's done a very good job of buttering us all up for this, but can we please give a very big warm hand? There are a lot of moving parts and cogs that make all of this go, and 98%, 2% kind of deal, yeah.
Sorry, you're talking about my moving parts? Because they move in mysterious ways.
I had one job today, and it was to get the drink tickets, right? and then he's like, "Do you have the drink tickets?" I'm like, "Yes, okay, I have done that." So no, no.
Anyway, he had more than one job. He's here talking and socialising and doing the thing. So, what I would like to do now is introduce some of the talent here in the room. We have Ben Hunter, who we have nominated for Best Appearance in an Australian Lamb ad. Applause. And the producers of Late Night with the Devil. Who've come in from the Grove to sort it all out. I'd like to thank the critics, the judges, the audience. And now we have jokes.
I have some jokes. Okay. I know that everyone is a little bit terrified of AI and what that is going to do for jobs. And I've had a little bit of a play around with it. And it just, well, I don't think that it can emulate human emotion that well. But I asked ChatGPT today and I said, what do you think about Australian film in 2024? And this is what it said to me. It said Australian film in 2024 is what if we do trauma but make it really slow? This is real. I can show you after. I've got receipts. It said in 2024, every Aussie film had the same plot. A guy staring out at the desert thinking about a mistake he made in 1998.
That's actually the drive, but not the moist.
It goes, Hollywood has AI, CGI and billion-dollar budgets. Australia has Dave, a bloke with a drone and a cousin in post-production. I don't know who Dave is, but anyway.
Bueno.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like this one. I think it started to learn. Skynet started to learn. And then it goes, Australian films are like flat whites. Subtle, strong, and you need to explain them to Americans.
I'm not applauding the community.
And then the last one, it said, Australian film funding is so tight, the last movie was shot on an iPhone 6 and edited on someone's Centrelink login screen. So, look,
Again, no clapping the computer.
no, look, so
You can't
so ChatGPT has it in for Australian film, but we obviously don't. So on to the next.
And now,
yeah.
I'd like to ask John Harrison to come up here. I'm sorry we're not mic'd, John, and say a few words about the inestimable, incredible, ineffable, other I words, interesting, and brilliant Lee Gambin.
Lee Gambin, yes.
John is part of the Cinemaniacs board, and there are other maniacs around tonight, so do say hello.
Okay, so I think, did Terry say there's a mic at the computer?
Yeah, there's a little DJI.
Oh. Yeah, is that working? I don't know.
I think it's for the recording, is it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, if I just leave it on the computer, is that okay?
Sure.
And you can then edit it out.
You're okay with us screaming at you, like you can hear?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Thank you everyone for being here. I'm honoured to have been asked to speak here tonight, though I certainly wish that I wasn't required to be, and I'm sure you all know what I mean by that. I first came into Lee Gambin's orbit around 2004 when I was working at Polyester Books in Brunswick Street. After locking up shop one Saturday night, I wandered down to the Tote for one of my semi-regular sessions at the Cobra Bar, located upstairs. But on this particular occasion, as I entered the Cobra and wandered up to say hello to Philippa behind the bar, I heard a booming voice behind me suddenly say, "Excuse me, that'll be $5." I turned around.
Do the Lee?
I turned around and found myself being approached by a young man who reminded me very much of the late great actor Sal Mineo, which warmed me to him immediately. Philippa introduced me to Lee, who then explained he was putting on a play at the Cobra Bar that night as part of his theatre troupe, which gloried in the name Sissies and Sluts. Intrigued, I forked over my $5 and, after drowning a couple of zombies, I sat there both horrified and in hysterics as Lee and his troupe delivered a jaw-droppingly offensive, yet incredibly funny, witty and intelligent play that made me feel like I was back in the early 70s Baltimore, watching one of the plays put on by John Waters and his infamous Dreamland team. Lee and I became fast friends, bonding over our love of horror movies and classic comic book characters like Batman and Superman. In fact, at one point, Lee asked me if I would be interested in playing Lex Luthor in an upcoming Sissies and Sluts play that he was writing. I know he asked me primarily because I already had the haircut for it, and I was flattered. But after reading his outline of some of the things he would have wanted me to say and do as Lex, I had to politely decline. I'm no actor, and I'd probably still be on some government watch list to this day if I hadn't taken up the role. But our love for horror flourished. What I admired so much about Lee was that he wasn't one of those young guys who was into horror because they were shudder, cheesy, or so bad they were good, or good for their time. He loved them purely for what they were, what they represented, what they said about class, politics, and the human condition, the hard work that was put into them, and the fabulous people they often featured. We shared a particular love for classic eco-horror films like Squirm and Grizzly. Not long after I first met him, Lee began writing and publishing his own horror movie fanzine, Gambin's Gore Galore, which he would sell at the Tote and wherever else he haunted. I remember him being particularly proud that he put the fanzine together while he was at Centrelink, under the pretext of looking for jobs and working on his resume, and using their photocopier to print it. Like a lot of classic old school fanzines, it was technically primitive, but Lee's talent and originality shone through. I remember being particularly impressed at the way he structured his interview with the 3 female stars of The Evil Dead, presenting it as if it was a screenplay excerpt. Very original and clever. It was no surprise to see him start writing professionally for Fangoria not long after. And from there, his output and accomplishments just mushroomed exponentially, leaving many of us in his wake as his credits began racking up at breakneck pace. When Lee formed Cinemaniacs around 15 years ago, he gave me the opportunity to introduce and talk about a number of films that have been close to my heart for many, many years and were incredibly formative, not just to my love of film, but to my life itself. Bless the Beasts and Children, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Warriors, Flash Gordon, Roller Coaster, TerraVision, and 10 to Midnight are just some of the films that I have had the pleasure to present as part of Cinemaniacs. Not to mention the infamous Blood-Sucking Freaks. And that was one of the great things about Lee. He was always willing and ready to give someone a chance. He didn't care how old or young you were. He didn't care if you were published or not. He didn't care if you had a degree in film criticism or not. In fact, he particularly championed the working class and those who didn't have any other gateway into sharing their love of cinema. But he believed in opportunities for all. If you loved a particular movie or genre and felt passionate about it, and you wanted to share that passion with others, that was all he needed to hear to give you a chance. And I think that is one of the things that the local and international film community will miss most about him, but also one of the things that we will remember and treasure most about him. And I'm sure that spirit will endure in this amazing award that has been created in his honour. Thank you.
Yep. Sally Christie has been kind enough to do a little slide about Lee. So
Yeah, and I think that, you know, anyone that's in this room that ever met Lee felt John's words then, and I find it amazing that whether you're in a small Brunswick bar talking to him or he's on the Actor Awards, like with his In Memoriams thing, like Lee touched so many people. Like he's so idiosyncratic. They broke the mold. I've never met anyone like him. We have family members of his here tonight, and he just was a gorgeous, beautiful person. And if we can do anything to keep him to live on, then we will do it.
This is the first year that we will be presenting this award, but it is ongoing because I'm going to put my hand up. Lee backed me.
Yes, same.
Who did? Yeah? Okay, so that's just an idea of how important he was. So if Lee backed you, we want to keep Lee.
Yeah, to Lee.
To Lee.
To Lee. Technical error, you know.
Technical error. John, would you like to introduce this award? I guess it's spoiled now. I did say pause. Please.
So our winner, a very worthy winner for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is 50 years old and still a cult classic. So why do people turn to horror in difficult times? And for that award, Jamie Tram. And of course, I have to say, Lee would absolutely love this
Lee
award
Gambin
going to
award.
Jamie.
Amazing, thank you so much.
Please feel free to say something,
Yeah,
Jamie.
okay, I have a little tiny thing. I also have a very tiny voice, so I'm sorry if you can't hear me.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, hi, I am truly so grateful to be receiving this award, and I just have a couple quick thank yous. Firstly to Nadine, and also Andrew, who I virtually met a few seconds ago. And also just the board of AFCA, the work that you put in to support critics across the country is so important and necessary. And it's genuinely such a privilege to have my work be recognised by this organisation. And I also want to acknowledge the man who this award is named after. I mean, I can't really follow that speech, it was perfect, but I just wanted to say, I came into film and criticism, only a few years ago, but I was so stunned by this vibrant film scene that we have in Melbourne. And I wouldn't be a critic if it wasn't for this amazing collective of film lovers and programmers who really opened my eyes to the possibilities of cinema. And, Lee Gambin, in his fierce passion and endless eternal generosity, was truly the heart of that. And obviously, he will be missed. So it's an unbelievable honour to be the recipient of this new award. And rest assured, I will never stop begging my editors to let me write about old movies. So thank you so much.
Now, just speaking of, just a small ad for Cinemaniacs. Cinemaniacs people were the people who judged the Lee Gambin Award and will judge it in the future. Please come along and support Cinemaniacs with Gus Van Sant, To Die For, introduced by Sally Christie, and she will be wearing her Nicole Kidman t-shirt, I'm sure.
I'm not wearing the t-shirt.
I'm not coming now. I'm not coming now.
Come on, baby girl, wear it.
Yeah, you're a beam expanded for that. Okay, so we're going to run through quickly the international awards because we're going to get to the meat. Just wanted everyone to know that it is a blind voting system within AFCA. We don't know who's voted for what. Everything's anonymised, so if you don't like it, was someone else. Okay, so best documentaries, we have Black Box Diaries by Sherry Ito, Reishi Sakamoto, Opus, Superman, the Christopher Reeve story, No Other Land, and The Remarkable Life of Evelyn. And the winner is... Thanks, Andrew, for adding these things I haven't practiced. Hamdan, Bilal, and Rachel Zor. I don't know how we can keep going with what's happening in the world. And please, I'm begging you, watch this film. And after you've watched that film, I can recommend a whole bunch of other films, including the Palestinian Oscar Award entry, which nobody seemed to review. And if you're interested, Cinema Reborn are going to be showing Lila and the Wolves, which I will get to at some point. But Congratulations to them who are not here, and we didn't contact them because we don't know how. So yay! Okay, next one. Best international film, not in the English language, and I'm not going to do them in their original because I then have to do the Radu Jude, and I can't. All We Imagine as Light by Paul Kapadia, Anatomy of a Fall by Justine Triet, Seed of the Sacred Fig by Mohammed Rasulov, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm good. The Zone of Interest by some guy.
Jonathan Glazer.
Jonathan, I know, but his name's easy to pronounce.
That's the only one I remember.
And Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World by Radu Jude, I would expect. And the winner is... Anatomy of a Fall by Justine Triet, who is also unfortunately not here because she's busy, and we didn't ask her. Moving. I must say it was very close between the one by that guy called Jonathan Glazer and this one. But now we're going for Best International Film in English, and we have
A Different Man
by director. Right, this is why I'm in control.
This is where you're
Aaron
in control.
Schimberg.
Aaron Schimberg.
Honora by.
Sean Baker.
Yes, good. Challenges by.
Luca
Guadagnino. Civil War by some guy called Alex Garland. And The Substance by me. I mean, Coralie Faja, The Substance. And the winner is... Challenges by Luca Guadagnino, and it's just the soundtrack. I'm sorry, Stephen, you didn't win.
Look, we took the Oscar snub so personally, but like we need to get some justice to challenge this.
So just imagine Compress Repress is playing at the moment.
That'll be at the after party, yeah.
And we're going to move along to I don't know who won that award. Okay, so for the people who are going to be super surprised here, best screenplay we have Bird Eater by Jim Weir and Jack Clark. Sorry guys, you didn't win. Heroes by George Miller and another guy. Sorry, you didn't win. He Ain't Heavy by David Vincent Smith. He's not here. Sorry, David. Late Night with the Devil by some guys who might have won. And Memoir of a Snail by Adam Elliott. And the winner is, surprise them with this.
Light fingers, Adam. Light fingers. There we go.
The Melbourne short film which brought Don Lane and Demons to the world. And we do actually have some, like they're professional directors. Remember when you see this, they are professional directors. I want you to know that.
Cam, I'm Cam, he's Cole.
I'm Cole.
He's Cam. And we just want to say thanks to AFCA for thinking of us. You really do like us. Finally. Look, so many people to thank, but seeing as this is the screen, really like to show our appreciation to Joel Anderson, who was a big help in putting this script together from its very early stages.
Thank you to our wonderful cast and crew, and in particular our producers here in Australia, Matt Gavoni, Adam White, who stood by us and the film through thick and thin. Thank you guys, and thanks to the critics.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great night.
They did not win Best Sound.
No, this is why directors have crews, okay?
Right, light fingers, Adam.
Yeah, we're going on to Best Supporting Actress, which is still a surprise.
I'm on the take. I've been
We have Kate Mulvaney for Better Man, where she played Robbie Williams' mum. Greta Scacchi for He Ain't Heavy, Jackie Weaver for Pinky and Memoir of a Snail, Alison Steadman as the grandma of Robbie Williams in Better Man, and Ingrid Torelli as the scary as hell little girl in Late Night with the Devil. And the winner is Greta Scacchi. Greta has, I don't know how many credits behind her. She couldn't be here tonight because she's really famous. And we're not. David Vincent Smith is an incredible screenwriter and director, and I expect we will see a lot more of his work.
Yep.
He gave Greta an incredible role, and also Leela George, who is her real-life daughter, and Sam Corlett, who was the middle of the film. But we do have something written, and we'll have to read it out because the screen is, it's not me, it's the screen is, Okay. The He Ain't Heavy team is proud to accept this award on behalf of Greta. We are incredibly grateful for her contribution to our film. A brilliant collaborator with exceptional cinematic sensibility and emotional intelligence, Greta worked hard to unearth the heart and truth of every scene. These are qualities every director dreams of in an actor. Her choices were always deeply connected to our vision while remaining vivid and authentic. I believe this award not only recognises Greta's work on our film, but also her broader contribution to the Australian pursuit of great cinematic art. David Vincent Smith and Jess Parker, the producer. Okay, Butterfingers, what next?
There's not, no. All right. There's no other slide.
I'm going to do it like Memento. We're just doing it in back.
There's no other slide. It just
So
someone made the slideshow.
I would like to.
Anyway.
We have the award for best individual review of an Australian film, and the winner is. Come on down.
This is the most hilarious and excellent award ceremony ever.
It's just like the Oscars. This is one more year, and it's just going to be the Stevens. It's going to be the Stevens.
Right. So I'm just going to read out La La Land for everything. The winner is La La Land.
Yay. You're all bored of me by now, so I'm going to keep it very, very short. But first of all, I just want to say, I want to echo Jamie's words that now more than ever, with AI breathing at the door, with everything else that's going on, with fewer places to write for, it feels like we're constantly fighting the wolves at the door. So what AFCA does is more important than ever before. This means so much to me, it really does, being, with peer judges. I want to thank AFCA, I want to thank the judges. And most importantly, I want to thank Charles and everyone who is fighting the fight to make film in Australia. It's so difficult to make a film. It's even more difficult to do it down here, even more difficult to do it as an indie. And yet we're punching above our weight, and we continue to, and we always have, and we always will. And I'm just really proud to get an award like this on behalf of the incredible work of Australian filmmakers.
I'd just like to add that Inside is still in cinemas. You can still see it. You can get off your couches and go if you haven't. Because not only have we got Stephen winning an award saying it is perfection and it's a debut, we've got somebody else who also quite liked it. Top tier Australian cinema, unforgettable. Also, Vincent Miller, Little Vinny. He's from Wollongbar. Northern New South Wales represent. Okay.
Look, last year Stephen won for All of Us Strangers, and that is a beautiful film that anyone that's seen loves. And his championing of that film, I know, I spread it, and everyone that read your review checked that film out and was rewarded. And when I saw Charles's film Inside, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this film's so good. And so for your piece, the work that you do to get more eyes on Charles's work, that working in synergy, I think, is a really nice thing, Steve. So.
But please, go see the film. We are struggling.
The film is amazing. And the minute we saw it early, and we went up to Charles and we're like, you have got lightning in a bottle here. And we said, so when's the rollout? And it played in 2 cinemas for 2 weeks. And look, we might get a really good streaming deal and you'll be able to check this film out. But I mean, I even said to my father, who's here, I said, if you come down for this weekend to Melbourne, I'll take you to see the best Australian film that I've seen in ages, Inside. And it wasn't playing anywhere. So, I mean, the work that people like Stephen does to champion this, keep fighting, and hopefully that, we can get more eyes on these
But
films.
also, for all our international viewers tonight, it will...
My mum will watch it.
Yeah. It is going to be released internationally. I can't say when because I'm under embargo, but it is. So, yes, for all the people in America currently watching, I'm sorry for you. And go see a film, a good Australian film. Should I stop?
The
doing
one
the awards?
finger. No.
Best cinematography. Quick. Force of Nature.
The Moist.
The Dry Tube. Sorry, I know that I'm being mean-spirited, but my goodness. Sorry?
Sorry, Eric. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, Robert Connolly is a lovely, lovely man. I just like him to extract himself from this right now. Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, Memoir of a Snail, Better Man, and Late Night with the Devil, and the winner is Simon Duggan for Lots of Desert Shots. And the next thing is probably going to be an award. I don't know, I've forgotten what are on the slides. And it is, but Virat is currently in India, so cannot be here. He has, and also have his trophy at home, his award at home, so he's going to have to fight me for it. Virat is our treasurer, and he is a lovely, lovely, lovely man. We thank you so much. And
yes,
thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Sally. Thank you. Virat, yes, is currently in India, so he wrote an incredible review of All We Imagine Is Light, placing it in its context because he himself is South Asian, so he has an understanding that is stronger than I could have, for example. He is our secretary. He's a gorgeous guy, and I really hope that whenever people are in Sydney or when he's in Melbourne, you meet up with him. And we've got something from Virat, and you can read that if you like.
Okay. A big thank you to AFCA and the judges panel for this honour. I would have loved to be there in person this evening, but I can't be there due to an unavoidable circumstance. A shout out to Payal Kapita for making this miracle of a film. The massive success of All We Imagine Is Light internationally is in stark contrast to the lack of support she has received as a filmmaker in her home country. Kapita has made a film that champions love and compassion at a time when India's political and cultural rhetoric is dominated by vitriol and hatred. As James Baldwin says, the world is held together by the love and passion of very few people. I also want to take this opportunity to recognise the incredible and often insightful work that our community of film and culture critics do in helping make sense of this world around us. A relatively younger critic, it pains me to see how our work is getting devalued with each passing day as irregular commissioned work dries up. I've witnessed critics and dear friends whose body of work I've long admired struggle to make ends meet as freelancers. So many of us are contributing to film a discourse purely as a passion project with little to no monetary outcome. I send all of you warm hugs, and I hope for a better collective future, even if all signs suggest otherwise. Signing off with hope, Virat.
Okay, Best Supporting Actor. We have a nominee in the room. So, Ben Hunter, make some noise! Turn around and look at him. Like awards. Tom Burke is not here.
Well, he's not winning that.
Sorry?
He's not winning that.
Yeah, well, exactly. No, but he's also not. David Harriman, who is just, he's in everything. But he was in Better Man as well. Hugo Weaving, who possibly, Adam pointed this out, has
He's Australia's most financially successful actor of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
not currently I think Chris Hemsworth is, but in terms of being in.
No, his overall box office. So when you think about
Oh
it,
right, not his personal wealth.
no, not his. No,
Oh.
no.
Right, I was going to say.
No.
Hemsworth was
I mean,
loaded.
Hugo hit me in his Bentley once, but no, that no, because of his involvement in the Matrix trilogy, the Lord of the Rings films, he does voice work in Transformers, and he's in the Marvel films as well. So that he's collectively, like his film's box office makes him the most successful, both financially, Australian actor of all time.
And he's also not in the room. And Ian Bliss for Late Night with the Devil. This is Carmichael. God, he was good as
Yes,
James
good.
Randi. And
The winner is.
the winner is
Yes.
Hugo Weaving for the Brisbane. Hugo was again very, as Andy pointed out, professional actor. I'll just let Hugo speak for himself and squint really hard, guys.
Okay. So Hugo was good enough.
Thank you for this award. I'm really very, very honoured. Congratulations to Mark Winter for writing such a beautiful and original screenplay, and for them going on to direct and guide us through the production of the film The Rooster, which was an experience I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a great character for me to play, and it was a wonderful journey for all of us who made it. Thank you to Jerry, to Marvin, and to David, the producers, and thank you to all of the Rooster team who worked on The Rooster. Thank you also to all of you, critically minded, film-loving journalists. Thank you for this award. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because I know you don't celebrate celebrity, you don't celebrate commerce, you celebrate, you prosecute, you defend, you criticize our culture, our film culture. And so thank you so much for doing all of that, for defending our culture, for prosecuting our culture, and above all for celebrating our culture with such wonderful writing about film, Australian film. Long may Australian film be celebrated, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Thank you very much.
Cinematographers are important, but
It's really.
his voice is amazing.
It's really foggy in Rivendell at the moment, he told me, so I'm sorry.
But yeah, Hugo's message is important. Remember that. Prosecute, elevate, criticize Australian film. Okay, and we've probably got Best Australian Documentary.
We have The Porcelain Wall, Otto by Otto, A Horse Named Winks, Left Right Hook, and The Hardest Line, The Story of Midnight Oil.
And the winner is Porcelain Wall by Brendan Baleno and Slava Leontiev. I'm sorry, I'm not Ukrainian. We do, was funded by Screen Australia. It is an important documentary. You can watch it at home now. It is about a group of artists. Who hasn't seen it? People. Okay, it's about a group of ceramic artists who have to become essentially soldiers, take up arms in Ukraine, while the Russian forces come in, and it's about how they reconcile the delicacy of their work and the intensity of becoming soldiers. So please watch it. And now we go to Best Actress. Would you like to?
Sure. Leela George for He Ain't Heavy, Sarah Snook for Memoir of a Snail, Laura Gordon for Late Night with the Devil, Anya Taylor-Joy for Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, Shaba Aziz for Bird Eater, and Anya Torv for Force of Nature, The Dry 2.
And the winner is Shabana Aziz for Bird Eater. Shabana would have liked to be here tonight, like she actually did want to come. See, like people do want to come. So, but instead, we have her virtually. Click.
Really, it means the world to be nominated, and then with all those names, those were some names up there. So I'm very, very, very thankful to everybody who voted for me, because it means also that you watched Bird Eater, and I want to thank everybody for watching Bird Eater. I think it's a really important story, and I'm really grateful to be telling stories at a time where stories like Bird Eater and characters like Irene are being platformed in Australia in this way. Thank you to Jack and Jim, thank you to Steph and everybody at Breathless and the entire cast and crew. This was a really very, very indie film, and I can't believe it's being seen at this scale and acknowledged at this scale. I hope that everybody who sees this film is able to have more empathy for people like Irene who are going through what Irene is going through. I think we have a really skewed understanding of people who are experiencing coercive control, and I hope that this film and this character and all of the airtime that you're giving her, and me, but her, people who are experiencing this coercive control is relentless, and it's happening all around Australia and all around the world, and it's perfectly legal in so many places. And I really hope that as we go about our lives and we see the Irenes in our lives, we see them a bit more clearly, and we have a bit more empathy for what they're going through. Thank you so much for amplifying the message of this film. I really appreciate it. I wish I could have been there tonight. Thank you so much.
Would you like to say something on Shabana's behalf? No? Okay. I don't know what's next, so it could be an award.
It could be a award. Yeah. Look, spoiler alert, you know. Boom!
It's the Jim Murphy Broadcast Award winner, Tansy Garden, for her amazing breakdown of Megalopolis. We do have the award here, and we have Tansy's producer Charles to come and pick it up. Have you prepared? Yes, of course. Yeah.
So Tansy actually can't be here tonight because she's currently chained to Mark Platt's Tesla until such time as he agrees to cancel the release of the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. So we wish her all the best. She did ask me to thank a couple of people. She'd like to thank Christian Byers, who tapped into his inner mad old man to play Francis Ford Coppola in the episode. Alexi Toliopoulos, whose interview provided additional context on the interactive element of the film. And as well, we'd like to thank the subscribers to the Going Rogue Patreon. That support allows Going Rogue to cover new releases in a much more in-depth capacity. And finally, I can say this because she isn't here to call me a dick. Tansy works incredibly hard on this show, sometimes worryingly so. And it's wonderful to see her get some very well-deserved recognition for that work. So, thank you.
I'd just like to say, Tansy is 2 for 2 with the Jim Murphy. So up your game, people, if you want to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next we have a surprise.
Oh no!
Best actor.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Mackenzie Fernley for Bird Eater. Bird Eater is highly represented. Cody Smith McPhee for Memoir of a Snail. Sam Corlett for He Ain't Heavy. Chris Hemsworth for Furious.
You would have roasted me for doing that.
Actually, I'm blaming the other person who is doing this. Sorry, it was Andrew.
Oh
yeah, Furious, the Mad Max Saga. David Desmartian for Late Night with the Devil, Daniel Monks for his incredibly important performance in the room where he waits. Please see that too. And the winner is
Boom.
David Desmartian for Late Night with the Devil. David couldn't be here because he's American and might not get back into the country if he leaves.
But, you know, despite being in things like The Dark Knight and Prisoners and other things like that, he liked to talk to us.
Good evening, I'm David Desmartian. Thank you so much. I'm so honored, I'm so thrilled, I'm so grateful that Late Night with the Devil has been getting the recognition that the film has been getting, which is so deserved for Colin and Cameron, the entire crew, the entire cast, and the fact that you thought to honor me with this award is, it's so humbling. I'm so grateful. I wish I could be there. I love this movie so much. I'm actually in my office in Los Angeles getting ready to decorate it, and I'm trying to figure out where I should put my Late Night with the Devil poster. It's such an incredible thing to think about when I remember flying down to Melbourne and meeting an entire crew, an entire company of Australian artists whose American dialects were better than mine, New York dialects much better, and the skill and the passion and the love for movies that everyone brought to this film, it will always be one of the most special experiences I've ever had making a movie, and I'm so thankful for the honor that you've given me and this whole film tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And Night Owls, stay tuned.
Okay, I don't know what's next. It's an award.
Right.
We don't have anything in between the award slides, so we also don't have a nominated list because we don't know who put in what. So the big award in terms of Australian writing, or the long format award, is the Ivan Hutchinson Award for Best Long Form Writing of an Australian Film winner. And it is Dr. Adrian Dax for Peter Weir's The Last Wave. Come on down.
Thank you. Thanks. Straight to the pool room, mate.
Straight to the pool room, absolutely.
I had to go to his Facebook page and get a picture that was of resolution, by the way, so that's why you've got your beer in there.
Oh, that's okay. The last time I was at something, they got a photo from about 30 years ago, so that's actually a lot better. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to everyone for not voting for the Dry 2 as well. But thank you so much for this award. It does mean a lot to me. It's actually the second one of these I've won, but I've never received an award before. So this is an innovation. This is fantastic.
We're doing this now.
And I'd like to thank a bunch of people. I'd like to thank the judges, who I don't know who they were.
Judges, hands up.
Anyone the judges are? Well, thank you. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
have judges.
Thank you, Cerise. They're all people
judges.
I know. They're all people I know, but that's okay. So I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank Di Sanders and Alison Craven, who were the editors who actually commissioned me to write this piece. So I had no intention of writing on The Last Wave, and certainly not on the maritime Gothic in southern waters. Not something I was expecting to write on, but I actually did. So I'd like to thank them very much for that. I'd also like to thank, in particular, Ivan Hutchinson, actually. We've thanked Lee Gambin before, of course, as we should, but Ivan Hutchinson was an incredibly important figure in film culture or screen culture in Melbourne. I think really formative to me. So it's a real honour to win this award. I remember actually seeing him show, the first time I ever saw a Robert Bresson film.
Okay.
Was midday movie on Channel 7. Was dubbed, but nevertheless, he did show it. And so he was an extraordinary figure, so it's a great honour. Also would like to thank the AFCA, because there is no other organisation that supports film critics, academics, curators. Luckily, I fit all three of those, as it turns out. But no other organisations actually that you can feel at home if you're any of those people. So that's actually quite rare. So in academia, film criticism, film reviewing, is something that I value, but it's something that's not valued that significantly necessarily by some others. So it's fantastic to have a forum for that. So thank you so much.
It is now.
Yes, it is now. Thank you.
Thank you. Shall we see what's next?
Yeah.
I put these together so late, I have no idea what's on it. And we have Best Australian Director, Michael Gracie for Better Man. I can't sing any of the rest. Adam Elliott for Memoir of a Snail, Jack Clark and Jim Weir for Bird Eater, George Miller for Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, and the Cairns Brothers again for Late Night with the Devil. And the winner is... Ha ha ha! You weren't expecting that, were you? Adam Elliott for Memoir of a Snail. Now, Adam actually... who has seen Adam at the Cinema Nova Oscars celebration?
Well, Adam is normally around here, and
Yeah.
Adam would normally be here tonight, but he's off doing things in Japan. But we managed to put our feelers out and get a little bit from ads.
Everyone, my name is Adam Elliott, and hello to everyone at the Australian Film Critics Association Awards. I'm here in Japan, although it's very hard for you to tell where I am. I'm at the Niigata Film Festival, and I'm here with Memoir of a Snail, and that's the reason I can't be there tonight to accept this incredible award for Best Director. It's very rare that I ever win a Best Director award, particularly when I'm usually in competition against live action films, and it's a really sad fact that poor old animation never really gets the recognition it deserves for direction, because it's just as difficult, just as time consuming, and it's something you really have to dedicate a lot of time and brain power to. So I'm really chuffed to be acknowledged for this award. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Our backlot, I've been there many times and had lots of test screenings and preview screenings there. It's a great little venue. Have a great night. Make sure you all behave. And once again, I'm really honoured to accept this award. Thank you and farewell from Niigata.
Now, we don't have, because things came down to the wire, we don't have physical awards for our people who won these things, but there will be awards coming and done, but we just don't have them here because I can't be an octopus as much as I'd like to be. Okay, so Best Australian Film. Here's the biggie, everyone. Okay, Adam, I'm going to leave this to
bets.
you.
All right, so we have Bird Eater taking odds, Furiosa and Mad Max Saga, Better Man, Late Night with the Devil, and Memoir of a Snail. Ooh, and the winner is... What? I did this one.
What? Next year, somebody else is doing this for both of us.
Yeah, here we go. What could it be? What could it be?
And the
answer is...
Late Night with the Devil. And we have the producers who the Cairns Brothers said would come down and say something. So, Macaroni, producer, Australian producer of Late Night with the Devil, you'll get an award.
Thank you. Hi everyone, thanks to the Auscritic team, huge honour, we're very excited. The whole film was made in Melbourne, you may not have realised, and also posted here, shot at Docklands. Shot on a smell of an oily rag, to be honest. It's fiercely independent, fiercely union, but I have a few people to thank from the agencies, of course. So Vic Screen, who are wonderful supporters of the film. Image Nation as well, our co-producers, so there's about, I'm one of 1,500 co-producers of the film. John Malloy, Adam White, Stephen Schneider, Roy Lee, Derek Douchy as well. the incredible talent of the Cairns brothers too. They're such wonderful. They're also very good musicians as well, which is just a little tidbit for you. The wonderful cast as well. So David, of course, who you've met tonight, but also Laura Faisal, who's also incredible. Laura and Faisal were also recently nominated for an actor as well up on the Gold Coast a couple of weeks back. Newcomer Ingrid Torelli, who I think you need to keep a lookout for. She's also in The Dry too, or colloquially known as The Moist. She's discovered tonight, which is very exciting. And the other cast as well. I thought I'd just sort of point out too, you know, when you go through life, there's people who you come into contact with, and there's the work that we make as filmmakers, and there's also the work that you do, and there's a couple of people in the room that I haven't seen for a while. So I wanted to say in a strange way, if you took them sort of out of my life, that Late Night with the Devil may not have actually existed, and it's probably Charisse, listening to Charisse on the airwaves of Triple R all the time, which is cool. Adrian as well, who's my media studies teacher back at RMIT like 25 years ago. Tom Caldwell, and of course Lee Gambin as well. That's it from me, I reckon. Thank you.
Got to get a big one.
Big one, yes.
Yeah, there will be something coming in the mail.
A big one. Yeah.
In the mail. Okay. And that, you now have the chance to heckle us.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Throw the Rotten Tomatoes, you know.
Anyone? Oh, come on.
Encore.
No. Thank you, everyone. Please introduce yourselves. Have fun. Always remember that we are a community and we have to keep supporting each other. All right? Peace out. Thank you. Thank you, Jared.
For fucking up the slideshow, you know.
No sweat.